The heartbreaking story of Park Bo-gum, 2025 news update. What really happened behind the smile of Korea's golden boy? Was it all just a perfect illusion? In this exclusive edition of Red Carpet Revealed, we pull back the curtain on one of the most shocking revelations of 2025. A story filled with whispers, betrayal, and quiet suffering, hidden for far too long. Let's dive in and uncover the truth together. There's a silence in his eyes now, the kind that wasn't there before. It was a quiet spring morning when fans noticed something strange about Park Bo-gum's latest appearance at Incheon Airport. No smile, no wave, no eye contact. A far cry from the warm, radiant figure who once lit up screens and stages. Something had changed, and it wasn't just the weather. At first, people assumed exhaustion, a long shoot, perhaps, or the usual toll of fame. But behind the flashes of cameras and rehearsed gestures, a darker truth had been brewing. One that even his most devoted fans hadn't seen coming. Today, Red Carpet Revealed takes you behind the scenes of one of the most dramatic and heart-wrenching stories of the Korean entertainment industry in 2025. In early January, Park Bo-gum withdrew from a major film production without explanation, an unprecedented move for someone with a spotless professional record. The production company issued a brief statement citing creative differences. But whispers began to circulate that something deeper was at play. A source from the film crew later leaked a confidential memo. Bo-gum hasn't spoken to anyone on set for 3 days. He arrives early, leaves late, and barely eats. There's concern about his mental state. Was it burnout, a health issue, or something more personal? On February 17, a hotel staff member at a luxury suite in Busan made a stunning discovery. While preparing the room for the next guest, they found a handwritten letter, unsigned but unmistakably written in Bo-gum's signature looping style. The content was cryptic but emotionally charged. I gave them everything, my smile, my silence, my soul, but they only remember the perfection, not the pain. The letter never made it to the press officially, but its contents quickly spread through underground fan communities. Some called it a cry for help. Others feared it was a farewell. The real shock came 2 weeks later, when Park Bo-gum was spotted entering a private psychiatric clinic on the outskirts of Seoul, his face shielded. His steps slow. Not even his agency knew about the visit. Behind closed doors, Park Bo-gum had been dealing with the unimaginable, the sudden disappearance of his older brother, Park Yun-woo, who had been missing since December. The public had no idea Bo-gum even had a brother. The two had been estranged for years, separated by a painful family history and a contract scandal in 2017 that Bo-gum kept hidden. Yet when Yun-woo's phone was found abandoned near the Han River, the first person investigators called was Bo-gum. What followed was a series of sleepless nights and emergency meetings with police. In one recorded statement, never before revealed until now, Bo-gum whispered, "I think he tried to protect me from something, or someone." Scene 4. The hidden camera footage. Just when things couldn't get darker, an anonymous package was delivered to Bo-gum's agency in March. Inside was a USB drive labeled only with one word, payback. The footage, dated back to 2018, showed Bo-gum at a private party hosted by a controversial figure in the entertainment industry, one who was later blacklisted for exploiting young talents. The video didn't show wrongdoing on Bo-gum's part, but it was clear he had been lured there unknowingly. And yet, Bo-gum had chosen to remain silent all these years. Out of fear, loyalty, shame? It's unclear, but his brother knew. And now, he was gone. Just days ago, against all odds, Park Bo-gum made a surprise appearance at the Blue Night Healing Concert, a charity event supporting youth mental health. No one expected him to attend. And yet, as the spotlight hit the stage, there he stood. Thinner, quieter, but unshaken. He sang one song, "The Wind Blows," his voice trembling on the high notes. When asked why he chose to come back, his answer sent chills. Because the truth doesn't vanish just because you hide it. It lingers, until you're strong enough to face it. In the wake of scandal, grief, and unbearable silence, the world expected Park Bo-gum to disappear. But he didn't. Instead, he chose to rebuild, not with noise, but with presence. Not with a comeback, but with truth. Away from cameras, Bo Gum has been living a life many wouldn't recognize. No more private jets. No stylists waiting by the door. Instead, locals in Jeju Island have spotted him frequenting a quiet bookstore every Sunday. Reading poetry collections and sipping barley tea. He's enrolled in a psychology course at a university under a pseudonym, just to understand people better. He told a friend, "He looks peaceful." One cafe owner said, "He's not acting anymore, he's just being." It's hard to believe this is the same man who, just months ago, stood on the edge of collapse. The same man who carried so much weight behind his eyes. You could feel it through the screen. What changed? In late March, an anonymous letter surfaced on a fan forum. No name, no signature, just a photo of handwritten words on wrinkled paper, left behind in a church confessional booth in Seoul. It read, "I thought fame would protect me from loneliness. But it only built higher walls. And then someone came along. Someone who didn't ask me to be strong. She just stayed." Speculation ignited instantly. Was it real? Was it Bo Gum's handwriting? The emotional cadence, the rhythm of his old interviews, seemed to match, but no one confirmed it. Except days later, in an interview for a mental health charity, Park Bo Gum said softly, "When I was at my lowest, I didn't need rescue, I just needed someone to sit with me in the dark." And now, we arrive at her. Kim Yoo-young, his former co-star, his longtime friend, the actress whose name never quite faded from the margins of his story. The two had always maintained a polite distance in public, rarely photographed together, never confirming the rumors that had followed them for years. But something has changed. Yoo-young recently stepped away from a major production, citing personal timing. Her next social media post showed a simple photo, 2 chairs facing the sea. One with a brown coat draped over it, the very coat fans recognized from Bo Gum's recent airport photos. And at the Blue Night Healing concert, when Bo Gum took the stage, there was a camera shot, so brief, it was nearly missed, of a woman in the front row wiping a tear. Her eyes never leaving him. The camera turned away before her face could be seen. But fan edits filled in the rest. And for the first time, neither of their agencies rushed to deny it. On April 17, Bo Gum made an unannounced appearance at a youth mental health seminar. Not as a celebrity, but as a guest listener. He sat at the back, took notes, and at the end, offered a short message to the young audience. No matter what you've been through, if you're still here, still breathing, then you're already doing something brave. The storm doesn't last forever. And love is what helps us remember who we were before the world got loud. After the event, he left a single tulip on the seminar table with a handwritten note. "I'm not who I used to be. But I'm someone I can live with now." Park Bo Gum is no longer the flawless icon perched on impossible pedestals. He is something better, human. And in his humanity, his vulnerability, he has become even more compelling. The world no longer sees him as the perfect prince. We see the cracks, the bruises, the quiet strength it takes to keep going when no one's watching. And standing quietly by his side, perhaps just a step behind the spotlight, is someone who knows how to speak in silence, Kim Yoo-young. The girl who never left. They haven't said the words. They haven't needed to, but sometimes, the most honest love stories are the ones never told out loud. And perhaps the most powerful kind of comeback is one where you don't return to the stage. You build a new one entirely.